Welcome to the Next Dimension Podcast, your portal to an extended reality. Every week we talk about the hottest topics in XR and let you join the discussion live on MRTV. And now, get ready for another exciting episode coming up.
Hi and welcome to Season 3, Episode 12 of the Next Dimension Podcast, your podcast that is all about VR and in the future also AR. And I'm so glad to have her back again here, Tetiana from fantastic channel Disco VR. Tetiana, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. It's so good to be on the channel so often, on your channel. Really enjoying it.
That's good. That's good. We all enjoy that you're here and looking forward to talk with you again. And also, and I'm so glad to have him back, Steve,
Who's that?
VR flight sim guy. Steve, how are you doing?
I'm very well, thanks, Seb. And again, it's great to be back on the show. I know it's been a while, but yeah, I'm looking forward to having a chat and catching up, really. But yeah.
Oh, yeah, exactly. We got lots of catching up to do. So that is exactly what we're going to do. I really want to find out what kept you busy and what's exciting you right now in virtual reality. So looking forward to that. Yep. Also with me, Sebastian, founder of MRTV and the host of the Next Dimension podcast. And I'm also doing really well and glad to be here with you. And let's have a great time and talk about our favorite hobby, just like we used to do it before sometimes. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to this. For all of you out there who have never heard of the Next Dimension podcast, this podcast is being live streamed here on MRTV on Saturdays. Right now, we have changed the timing a bit. So right now, it is 3 p.m. Berlin, 2 p.m. London, and 8 a.m. Is it, Tetiana, where you are in Texas?
Yeah, it is. It is 8.
Oh, that's quite early for you.
All right.
I had to change my Saturday schedules, but it's quite nice. So, get up early, get more things done on a Saturday.
Right,
all good.
Right. Just for the people on the West Coast, this might be a bit early, right? We might think about changing it 1 hour to the back. Let's see how that goes. Yep. Anyways, we'll discuss this. Anyways, this podcast is not only live streamed, you can also listen to it as an audio podcast anywhere where you can find audio podcasts. Like, for example, I just wanted to say Gmail. I don't know. No, not on Gmail. On Google. On Google. And on Alexa, on Spotify, iTunes, and everywhere where you can find podcasts. And it would be amazing if you enjoy this podcast, if you would give us a review, a 5-star review on iTunes, for example. So get out your iPhone or your iPad right now, open the podcast app, which is pre-installed there, and find us and give us a 5-star review if you enjoy the show, because that is really the best way to say thank you and the best way to allow other people to find this podcast, other than liking, commenting, and sharing this to everyone that you know in your VR circle of friends. That would be really, really cool. Yep. So we are going to talk today about a few topics. Obviously, we're going to catch up first about our weeks and about our months that we didn't see each other, right, Steve? And
yes, absolutely,
I'm really looking forward to that. And then we're also going to talk about some topics. So we are going to talk about VR in general. Is it dead again?
Yes, it's
right?
dead again.
It is so dead. Since lots of things are happening, like Microsoft has laid off the XR teams, like the teams that are working on Windows mixed reality. Okay, some people might actually celebrate that, not the people who are who are laid off, obviously. But so it seems like no more Windows mixed reality. Then the HoloLens team, which is wow, kind of surprising. Allspace had to go, also connected obviously to Microsoft. Then we had Meta also, like a while ago already, laying off lots of people, and now also Echo VR, one of the most loved games for esports, actually, right? It's just being shut down. It doesn't look so good for VR honestly speaking. Right? It's crazy. We're gonna get into that topic and talk about that part. Also, we are going to talk about PlayStation VR 2 again. I recently got a comment on my videos which said like, Sebastian, you need to do more PSVR 2 videos. What's going on there?
It is going to be quite trending.
I'm sure
so
there'll be
it is going
loads
to be
It is,
everywhere soon.
and there will be loads of videos about the PSVR 2 on this channel, but right now I simply don't have it, and I have not tried it yet. So there's little videos that I can make. Obviously, I could make the videos. Oh, the 10 best PSVR games, but I have not played them yet, right? So that is not MRTV style. I would have probably 200,000 subscribers now if that was my style, but I really like my style. So I am going to give you lots of PSVR 2 content once I have the device, and that's going to be amazing for sure.
I like that
Anyway,
you're staying real with that. I kind of felt the
Yeah.
same way when anytime I would make a video about something I haven't tried them, like, and there would always be that person who say, "You haven't even tried it. What the heck are you talking about?"
yeah,
Like, well,
exactly. Like,
I
like I
guess.
cannot. Really. So
Mhm.
yeah, there will be lots of content. So for the person who wrote this comment, no worries. You'll get so much content, and it's just a few weeks away, and I can't wait to do all these videos that I love to do. And I will also even play games because I love to have this interaction actually with the community when I stream, which I cannot have with the Quest 2 and also with the Pico 4, right? That you can read the chat, and that was so good in PSVR 1 where you could simply read the chat. It was like put into VR, right? So yeah,
I wonder if it's going to be the same way.
I hope so. I need that. I need that to happen. Yeah,
It
anyway,
is.
so
It's the Achilles heel of every YouTuber is trying to find a way of getting the best VR footage. It's so hard.
of course.
I actually feel jealous of like 2D streamers and gamers. It's so easy. You just turn your computer on, click
Right.
stream, and that's
You
it.
can
But
put
with
your
VR,
face there. You can make
it's so
interesting
hard.
facial
Yeah,
expressions.
no, you need to have a whole degree to figure
Yes,
out how
you
to
do.
do it
Right,
correctly.
absolutely.
And
Yeah.
then there are people who live stream in mixed reality,
Now,
and
this is
also
cool.
interact with it. It's just like, wow, this is incredible.
This
That's
is really
something
good.
top.
Yeah, right. That is really cool. Yeah, so we will talk about the PSVR 2 again. We will talk about our expectations. We saw some hands-on videos, like for example from Nici, and we will talk about this. And we might want to think about, like managing our expectations a bit, because I can feel obviously there's excitement, and don't get me wrong, I'm friggin' excited, just like you. I really am super excited for this headset, and I believe it's going to rock. But we should also probably not make the mistake and overhype it just then to be extremely disappointed, perhaps. Who knows? Right? Because we are the enthusiasts who have already looked through a lot of other headsets with better lenses and probably better resolution. So, yeah, let's try to keep it real and think about it. And also, yeah, simply look at what people had to say. And we're going to do that in this show. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to this show. I hope everyone too, you guys, and also the people who are listening to this podcast right now.
What about Steve? Are you going to get it?
Oh, well, do you know what? It's funny because no, but having said that, I'm kind of more intrigued now than before.
I
think-
expected that.
Yeah, I mean,
What?
I'm obviously a nerdy PCVR guy, but having said that, I am intrigued to see what the impressions are going to be like, and it seems like that might be the only way to enjoy PCVR or that sort of quality moving forward. So
It's a
I
hope.
don't
It's a
know.
hope for PCVR, actually,
yeah,
right?
before it was an absolute definitely not interested, but now I'm like probably not, but I'm a little bit curious about it now.
Okay.
so,
Yeah.
yeah.
You will be
it's-
bombarded with YouTubers who make videos about it. Like,
Of course. So
you-
I don't
you
need to
won't-
make any. I'll just
you-
watch everyone else.
You can't escape. You could just, if you don't have it, you can just react to my videos or other people's videos.
That's a good
Right,
idea.
and-
I might
No,
make a
honestly.
post, an actual
Honestly.
YouTube video of reacting to your videos. That's a good idea.
Yeah, no,
do
really,
that.
honestly,
Have you
like,
done that
like
before?
when I've done that before, actually. When
Yeah.
the first people got to see the PSVR2, they were like invited to London, and I was not invited. No problem. I will react to every single of these videos. And honestly, that reaction video that was quite successful, and I even didn't have to go to London. So yeah, that was good.
I did laugh when I saw those videos. I thought, what an ingenious like
Right?
idea to reacting a video. It's crazy, but yeah, it works.
You didn't get any copyright strikes for that?
No, I don't think
Well,
so.
I guess you're promoting their content really at the end of
Yeah.
the day, so it's a win-win for everybody.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Yeah, anyways, so we are going to talk about this in this show, something to look forward to. So everyone who's listening to this now, share this stream right now, the link, because probably not everyone understood that we are now quite a bit earlier than we are on normally. All right, but now before we get into these topics, I would like to ask Tetiana, how was your week?
It's been, all things considered, I think I've had busier weeks. It's slowing down a little bit on the news, I guess, like hardware news front. It's been heating up with all the layoffs. And to be honest, I've been quite busy working on my channel. Just finally managed to finalize the video where I was talking about all my crazy experiences with haptic gloves. Just put it yesterday. So go give it a watch if you haven't already. I know we talked about it quite a bit last time I was on the show. But then I was still kind of thinking about how to put it all into words and present it in a nice way. So now I've done it. I'm quite proud of it. And after I've done it, I actually had some time to play. And we tried the new Walkabout Mini Golf Atlantis course, which I highly recommend.
Oh,
it's
God,
so
this
pretty.
game is so good. Oh my goodness.
And yes, and it's not one of those overly complex ones. Like there are ones that are really hard to do on a first try. We actually, both me and my Mr. Disco, we both completed it on the first try and unlocked the hard level. So it was really nice. And after that, I was thinking, okay, there are going to be like horror games coming out, and I want to review them and I want to play them. I want to kind of maybe get into this mood. So I tried something kind of like an experimental game made by a developer who previously created Stranger Things VR game. Maybe you've heard of it. At some point, it became very popular. He uploaded it on SideQuest, and it was basically a similar game to the Jurassic World. Where you're hiding from the dinosaurs.
Aftermath. Yeah, right.
Aftermath,
World
but
Aftermath.
but you're actually hiding from the Demogorgon. And so if he finds you, it's a huge like jump scare where these Demogorgons are like right in your face, and was super scary. And because Stranger Things was also trending at the time, the game got a lot of attention. But sadly, Netflix took notice of it, and the developer had to take it down.
It was not official. Okay.
Of course it wasn't.
Okay. Yeah.
And even though it wasn't monetized in any way, it still said Stranger Things, so it wasn't like weirder events or something different, but it kind of had a logo, so maybe that shouldn't be done. But the developer didn't give up, and he created an original game. This time it's called The Obsessive Shadow, and for now it's just a demo. The actual game is coming up soon, but it's a free demo on SideQuest. It's also a free demo on Steam. And it's just this creepy game where you're in the house and you see this shadow outside the windows with just glowing eyes and a super creepy long body, like with super long arms and legs. And he's creeping on you. And you have this flashlight that you have to shake for it to work. Otherwise, it's total darkness.
Oh, okay.
And you scare this shadow away by lighting him with your lighter, and if you're too slow, how about you play and record your reactions? I would really like to see that. I think that would be so fun.
I know, Seb, absolutely, you hate horror games, don't you, Seb?
I absolutely hate them. Well, I cannot play them because I'm just too scared. It's too immersive, I'm like, so for some reason, I'm really getting into immersive things. Like I can really imagine I'm there. Probably that's why I love VR so much. I can really get into it. I can
You can't be
really
tricked.
also I can also get immersed into when I watch a movie, So even a horror movie is already tough, but horror VR, oh.
And to add to that, I also was wearing a haptic vest because
Oh,
the
wow.
haptic sent
Oh,
him.
yeah.
No, not gonna do that.
And then this thing, the haptic sent him the dev kit, so he was like, I have to do the haptic support. But it's a very simple game. It's just a demo. It's really just that is happening. So the whole time I was playing, I felt nothing. I'm like, well, this thing is not working. Like I'm just like, scaring him away and nothing's happening. But then when he finally got me, like, the shadow
can
touched
imagine.
me. That was creepy.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
but I'm like pretty proud of myself for doing it, because I also like hate horror games in VR. But it was more of a mini game, right? It's not like a Resident Evil.
7,
Resident
yeah.
Evil can be like that, but it's not something that you have to constantly be exposed to fear. It's more of a little dose of fear, and then you can stop if you want to, or you can continue. It's pretty nice. You can try it if you want
Microdosing.
to. The obsessive shadow. Yeah, so that's what I tried, and of course I start receiving invites from some developers to check out their games when PlayStation VR2 arrives. So I already started making schedule for that, because I don't do too many gameplays on my channel, but with PlayStation VR2 it's going to be different, because it's not just the game, it's also just experiencing how it was adapted to this new technology with the haptic feedback on your face, the controllers, eye tracking. So just to even comment and experience that, and share my impressions from those game adaptations, I think would be very interesting too.
Of course. Yeah, right. And then finally to see other games, right, that we have not seen before yet, like Horizon and stuff, get some new stuff to play. And finally, like non-mobile games.
Yes,
That is
absolutely.
the exciting
Yes.
part, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
so
definitely.
looking forward to that. The full-blown, full-scale games. We
Right.
really need that.
Exactly. Yeah, cool. That is your week?
Yeah, that was
Or-
pretty much my week. We were kind of frozen for a week. We've had a lot of snow and ice, and the entire state was shut down, because that's what happens. People don't know how to drive, and it's hazard. So all I could was just stay at home, work, make videos, and play VR. It was
Okay, that sounds all right. That sounds all right. Okay, cool. Now we're going to hear from you, Steve. How are you doing? What have you been doing the last few months that you've not been on the show? What are you excited about?
Yeah, it's been. I mean, I'm trying to think when the last time I was actually on the show. I can't remember now, but it was probably the back end of last year. Was it November time or something? I can't remember.
Could be, yeah.
Wow.
But
Long
yeah,
time ago.
it was a while ago, wasn't it? Really, it doesn't feel like it though. It feels like yesterday. To be fair, time
Right.
goes so fast, doesn't it? Really, but
does.
Yeah, I think I think the last time I was on the show, I just got a new computer. So, following on from that, I've really been just enjoying using this new RTX 4090 machine.
Ooh.
Flying and simming, probably more than I ever have for a very long time.
It makes that much difference.
Oh my god, it's absolutely incredible. Sorry that there's like the sun's coming right into my window, so I look ridiculous. But sorry.
What did you upgrade from? I felt like you had a already pretty
You're
powerful.
so bright.
The RTX
Talking about
4090.
4080.
Oh my God,
Whole face lights up.
he's the chosen one.
It just feel like that, doesn't it?
Live on the Next Dimension
Oh my God.
podcast. He is being enlightened. He has seen
Hang
the
on a minute.
4090.
Let me sort this out because that's ridiculous.
I just saw that, as he started
Oh
talking
my
about
God.
4090,
That helped a bit,
his
yeah.
whole face lit up. That's how happy he is about.
Oh my God.
Amazing
But
timing.
what were
He's
you
the
upgrading
one.
from? I thought that you already
Oh
had
my
a
God.
pretty powerful machine before that.
Sorry, I've got the giggles now after that. Yeah. Sorry, what did you say, Tatiana? Again, sorry, I missed that bit.
What was your previous GPU? What were you
Oh,
upgrading from? Because I
yeah.
thought that it was already pretty powerful.
Yes, I mean, I had a 3090 before this anyway, with a pretty beefy CPU, a 10900K system. So it was a really good system anyway before. And the idea was for me I got this computer just alone, as a lone thing, the chosen one. I was only supposed to have it for a couple of weeks. But then I was like, sorry, but I don't really want to give it back. Actually, I really, really love it. It's amazing.
I don't
As you know,
want to
Seb,
give
because
it back.
I literally said I don't want to give it back.
Yeah, no,
Can I
love
buy it
it.
off you? Yeah, and they were happy for me to buy it. Of course, they were happy for me to buy it off them, because I think literally since then.
How much did you offer? Like £3?
I just paid the full amount, and because I'm not a businessman like you, Seb, I don't think that way. And then
why did that sound like an insult?
No,
it sounded like an insult.
in a good way, because like I don't think that way, because like, since then they emailed me back and said, "Oh my God, Steve, they've like in a couple of days, because I did a few videos that weekend, they had 10 orders for that computer."
100,000.
Yeah, 100,000. Yeah, they had like 10 orders for like a $4,000 computer. So, and they're only a little
You shouldn't
company
have
in the
paid the
UK.
full price. Yeah.
No, I shouldn't have. I know I shouldn't have, and I probably won't do that next time. And I'll probably, be
But
a
do
little
you
bit
have
more.
like do you have an affiliate link for those computers?
No, I'm rubbish with all that kind of stuff.
That one you should do it.
I know. I really should get better at that kind of thing. But yeah, I've been loving that computer. Seriously, with the Varia, it's been actually quite hard for me to make videos because I've been too busy enjoying just flying for myself, which is always something that's very important. But yeah, absolutely. In fact, that screenshot behind me, funny enough, that I took that screenshot in VR, flying over, is that Chicago, I think.
That looks like a picture.
Yeah, that is like,
that looks stunning,
amazing.
Man.
Yeah, with the Varia Air at like 39 pixels per degree, flying around at like, say, really high frame rate. It just feels so good. So yeah, I've been enjoying it, and just getting back into it again. Like, not like I've never got out of it, but just for myself, because you kind of realize, as you know yourself, as a YouTuber, you kind of get into this crazy sort of just making videos all the time, and then you kind of forget why you did it in the first place. So it's like going back to your roots and just enjoying flying just for myself. So yeah, I've been doing quite a bit of that.
Great.
Actually,
that's great.
Yeah, I really wish you were here when we were talking about Crystal, because we were actually just comparing, like,
I wanted to be on that show. Yeah, I wanted to be on
Crystal, because I honestly think like it's better than Vario Aero. I got to try them both. I don't own them, but I got to try them side by side.
Absolutely. If they actually really solved that lens issue that we found, right, that there was something wrong, then I agree totally to that. Really, there was so clear, the picture quality, so good.
And the local dimming, the FOV.
Really good. Wow. Well, Steve,
you
did not try it yet, right?
No, not yet. It's been delayed. Apparently, my review unit was about to go out, but then they had a few issues. So it's been delayed.
Because they need to send it to me instead.
Yeah, perhaps. I don't know. But it is coming, I think. It is what it is. I know it's coming.
You ordered it? You ordered it? They're not going to send you a review unit?
No, they are. They're sending me a review unit. I just, they said it was going to sort of, be sent out, but then there were a few delays for whatever reason. I think they're just trying to get a new firmware on it and everything. So hopefully, fingers crossed, in a couple of weeks, I should have it here to test. And I think, I'm being a bit biased here, but I think it's really important for me to give my impressions, because I'm kind of like their perfect target audience, to be fair, for this. So I think it's really important for me to give my impressions. And if I had, like you guys with the PSVR, I have emails and comments every day saying, "Have you got the Pimax Crystal yet? Have you got it yet?" And it's like, why is there no content of it yet? And everyone is desperate for me to try it, and I am really looking forward to trying it, but I can't do anything if I haven't got it. So it's one of the things.
think it's very important for you to get it, but not as important as it is important for them for you to get it, because they need it. They need that.
Yeah, you're so right. Absolutely.
Okay. I believe that you're going to like it, like a lot. Like you're going to be enlightened once again with heavenly
I want
voices
to.
around you and like,
Yes.
what?
I
What? What?
I will actually set a
Ah!
That'll be
notification
on the
for
video.
your channel. Yeah, I'll set a notification for when you have the first look of it. I want to see your record your raw reactions. Okay,
This is
don't try it
That's what I was
before
thinking.
before.
Instead of making a really nice polished edited video, I'm laughing because I probably wouldn't do that anyway. But I'm just going to film my first reactions with it, literally. And I think that kind of way of doing things has been influenced by Seb, actually, because when I've seen you do that kind of thing, I think that's a great way of people seeing your absolute honest first reactions of trying it on the first time you experience it, and then you can do videos afterwards of sort of your full review and comparisons and things.
Yeah.
But
The reason I haven't done
Actually,
it because I haven't even reviewed that many headsets, to be honest. And those that I did review, they were many of them were not on site here. But yeah, I will definitely look forward to seeing it. And it might sound like we're hyping it up, but basically our main concerns are, will controller be ready? Will they be tracking like
right.
that? So will the little lenses be fixed? Will the standalone store be working? Yada yada yada. But the actual visuals is something that's ready. I think it's prepared to surprise, surprise and impress you. So
I
Tetiana,
can't
I
wait.
think,
Like, you guys have tried it and I haven't yet. It's like, no,
yeah,
I
right.
can't
I
wait to
think
try it.
when you saw it, Tatiana, they had already fixed that lens issue, right? That's when I tried it in Germany, there was still some lens issue. It felt like there is a diopter already built in, which is wrong. And it seems like they have already fixed that problem for you when they showed it in the US, right?
Kevin told me about that it was you who actually managed to notice it right away. He was very impressed, by how quickly you noticed that there was something wrong with it. When I tried it during the road show, it still had the same issue, but
Oh, really? Okay.
it was gone at CES.
Okay.
That's good to know.
Yeah, one of the headsets at CES still had the issue, but not all the headsets. Yeah, anyways. So I believe that you are in for a treat, Steve, especially with a 4090. That's going to be good. That's going to be really good.
I am, really looking forward to sort of seeing how it compares to the Aero, being a massive Aero fan, as you know, like that is for my use case scenario. It really is. It doesn't really get much better than that. So
yeah, you will see.
I'm intrigued to see if the crystal,
man,
I mean, even if it gets to that same level, that'd be amazing,
Yeah, it's not
I also love the Aero. I also love the Aero, really. But I must say, they managed local dimming, which Aero simply doesn't have, right? And they have the same picture quality, but at a bigger FOV.
Yeah.
And they have audio. It's it's a pretty good mix. Yep.
Especially the vertical one is the one that got me shocked, because you cannot see the edges.
Yes.
You look up and you look down and it's all VR. And when I tried Vario Air after that, it kind of looked like I was kind of
through a letterbox
through the little window. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my God, it's so clear, but I can't enjoy it. It's so easy to get spoiled by huge FOV. And then at the CES, they add the little trigger that would, in the software that would switch on and off the local dimming just for you to see.
I'm looking forward to seeing that, definitely.
Oh my God.
But there is other aspects to this, though, that I'm going to touch upon. Because, it might look great and it might be great trying it for a couple of weeks. But what about trying it for 2 hours on your head? Is it going to be comfortable compared to the Aero? Things like, is the software going to be up to scratch? Is it going to be plug and play? The Vario-based software is incredibly well optimized. I mean, it runs 10 frames per second more than the Riva D2 with 50% more pixels. So it's those geeky things that I want to touch upon. Another thing that really occurred to me as well.
But it doesn't have motion smoothing, right? The Aero, or did they not build it?
Yeah, it's running really well.
Is it good?
Yeah.
Okay. Because for a long time
okay.
they didn't have it.
Hang on. Yeah, it's not great, but it's there's too much of overhead right now. It takes saps too much of your frames, but they are working on it. They are aware of it. No, well, yeah, it's because of the overhead of their algorithms of using the reprojection. It's just a bit too heavy, but I think they'll get there. And one thing I will say, of all the motion reprojections I've used, there's less artifacts at lower frame rate with the Aero than any other. That's still the same thing that I said on my other video. It's just a case of them working out the kinks. But admittedly, Pimax have already got all that sorted out, so they have smart smoothing, which works really well as well. So yeah, but I was going to say something, I can't remember now, it's gone. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to trying it and being completely honest, of course, as I always am, and seeing it, just testing things that perhaps the sort of the more mainstream gaming VR type channels might not, think about. And yeah, it's going to be a really interesting adventure trying this one. And I'm going to literally,
sure.
and any sort of questions and stuff or anything people want to know about the headset, I'm going to go for it and just try and answer and try, just compare everything I can about the headset. So, but yeah. Anyway, I'll crack on. Yeah, exactly.
No,
have you got it yet, Seb? Actually, have you got the crystal?
I have it here under the table right now. No, I'm kidding you.
You're such a liar.
Anyways, but I still want to know though, which headsets are you using now? I know that you also have the Pico 4 now.
Yes,
and
exactly. I was going to mention
and you also enjoy it, right?
Yes. Well, one thing I didn't have on my last on the last show that I was on was the Pico 4.
Right, but now you have it. So how you like it?
I do have it, and it's what I call it is the cheeky VR headset of 2022. I mean, what a device that is. I was really surprised by how much I actually really enjoy the Pico 4. It's a fantastic headset without a doubt, and I was not expecting to enjoy it so much. In fact, to the point where, especially with a really high-end PC with a 4090, yes, I actually prefer using that to the Reverb G2, which is mind-blowing.
I can understand it. For me, it was the headset of the year 2022, honestly speaking.
Yes.
That was, for me, better than the rest. Or like most surprising. It's great. Quest Pro is also good, but not like this.
Sorry, guys. There's a bit of a delay on my end. You're like Tatiana's completely frozen now, and you're like,
oh, really?
Robotic. So apologies if I am sort of talking over people. It's because there's a bit of a lag.
Okay.
I might go back in and come out again if it carries on. It might be my end. I'm not sure, but
okay. Yeah. So tell us about your Pico 4 experience. So you like it a lot?
Yeah. I was honestly. Things that really shocked me about it was the fact that it's got motorized IPD. Like, why did they even add that in there? They didn't need to do that. It was almost like quite an odd thing. But at the same time, I fully respect that they've added such a high-end feature in things like the active cooling technology as well. That makes such a difference. When you start using VR headsets with, fans that kind of blow a fresh air onto your face, you kind of, it's hard to go back to anything else because you forget how clammy you feel, when after a sort of long session. But of course, those pancake lenses are everything, really. That's the party piece of the headset. And for, again, my use case scenario, when I'm looking at cockpit gauges and fine text, that really beats even the slightly sharp, because the G2 is slightly sharper, but not by a lot. But then you've got such a small sort of sweet spot anyway. I'd rather have a much wider, sort of clearer display and have slightly less sharpness because you won't notice it because it will feel a lot better. So I think overall, I'm quite impressed, very impressed really with what they've done with the Pico 4. Just giving it those extra little features like the IPD motorized, which I know is not a big deal, but to me as a geek, I'm thinking,
cool.
Why did they put that in there? It's so amazing.
It's pretty cool. For that price, unbelievable.
And can I just say as well, actually, that I did play Red Matter 2. In fact, I played the whole thing.
Oh. On the Pico? It looks very good on the Pico. It looks better than on the Quest Pro, which is like, wow.
I'll go further than that.
Really?
It looks like a PC VR game.
It's unbelievable.
I think.
Wow.
I've never known this. I wanted to show it on the channel, but I thought no one's going to give a crap about that, so I thought I won't show it because they're like, this is not flying, this is games. But I was so impressed with Red Matter 2 on the Pico 4. It's beautiful. It's an amazing experience, and I don't even really like puzzle games that often, but it just kept me coming back for more because it was such a high quality experience. And it ran really well as well. Really impressed. So from a standalone point of view, it is good. However, it's not perfect because, of course, there's a lot of games that just don't look very nice on the Pico 4, which is a shame. Like Walkabout Mini Golf is really grainy and strange. And after the fall, doesn't look quite as good on the Quest as well. So I'm not quite sure what the reasons are for that. But
Actually,
you know.
for some games, they were using like Pico 3 APKs, which were
Right,
not
okay.
optimized yet for the Pico 4, just to have the game there in the first place. But now they are little by little like putting up the correct versions. So quite a few of the games now look good again.
Well,
Yeah.
I haven't seen that yet, but I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Check
I'm
it out,
trying to
yeah.
type at the same time. I can't multitask. There we go. So saying thank you to Gil Arlington for saying hello. So thank you. But yeah, overall, Pico 4. I don't
Yeah.
use the Quest 2
Thumbs up, really.
anymore with PCVR. In fact, I haven't even used it on my new computer. I just don't bother anymore. I think the Pico 4 is a fantastic PCVR headset if you've got the grunt to use it. And I've got to say, virtual desktop completely transforms that headset. In fact, funny enough, I've just realized that funny little background behind me, that was with the Pico 4, actually. It wasn't the Vario, it was with the Pico 4. And I was at a beautiful locked 45 frames per second motion reprojection, and it was just so smooth and looked so good.
Yeah,
I actually prefer it to the Vive G2. I said this in the video recently, and people
I
hate
get
me
it.
for it. But
I totally get it. Yeah, honestly speaking, this is really, in my opinion, right now still the best wireless PCVR headset, the Pico 4. It is inexpensive. It has a high resolution. It has pancake optics. So yeah, together with, in combination with virtual desktop on ultra settings, or yeah, if you have like a strong PC that can support this, yes, it's the Pico 4. So I'm still so sad that the US cannot get it, or you can get it. You can order it from some sites. But
so
it's
the way
not official.
the main I don't know, the main turn off for me, and it kind of deterred me from spending more time with Pico, is that there were, I don't know, maybe I was sent some kind of a dev kit or something. There were many parts inside the headset that are still in Chinese, and
that's definitely some dev kit. There's nothing
to
Chinese.
sign in, you have to pick your time zone or something, or not the time zone. You have to pick a phone code.
Okay, you don't have then you don't have the European version.
Yeah, and I had to choose through a list of Chinese ones.
Okay, no.
I didn't
and I can't, install the app that I would use to activate some game keys to try the games. So currently, I have a headset that has no games on it, and I just
that is bad. Yeah.
What am I supposed to do with it? All I can do really is probably play PCVR games, but it is a standalone headset. I would like to try, the standalone Red Matter. I mean, I would buy it.
You can't. Then you can't even try virtual desktop. So if you cannot install any apps, probably, or you have to sideload it.
So is virtual desktop? I mean, isn't it on the store? Do I need to sideload it?
It's on the store.
Okay, well then I can.
But you could yeah. Okay.
But
so you
I
have
can't
access to the store.
Essentially, and also Shane recently made an like an APK. Well, there was also an APK, but he made a little shortcut to the place on SideQuest where you can get it. So you can go directly there from your Pico browser and sideload SideQuest VR app. So that's pretty cool. There aren't too many games for Pico on SideQuest yet, but that library is growing. So at least that's something to keep your eyes on if you want some more games that are from SideQuest. But yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed just because I don't know what to do with it right now, and I have other things. So
of course,
I just prioritized something else to Pico just because that seemed like there were so many hardships on the way that shouldn't have been there in the first place. But
on your device, you're right.
On my device, yes.
You should definitely get like a European version, and hopefully they will come out in the US sooner or later.
Yeah, if they send it to me, I can send my Pico and to anyone if someone needs it. If someone is willing to take the the hurdles of setting it up, I can just
honestly, I am super impressed with the Pico 4, and especially from a high-end PC VR nerd that I am. it is excellent. And I think, especially now the Vive G2 is not looking like it's going to be supported for much longer, I do think it could be a viable option for some people that are looking to get a cheaper way into PCVR. The only thing is that I will say is that don't really get it unless you've got a powerful GPU. Very important, because if you've got anything less than, say, a 3080, you're not really going to enjoy it so much, because it's all about that godlike mode setting in virtual desktop.
Godlike, godlike. That's it.
Once you set that resolution, it is phenomenal. I mean, I'm
It is
even playing Half-Life
very
Alyx
close
with
to
it now.
G2.
It is. It's close enough. And then you've got
And then
75%.
better sweet spots, right?
Exactly.
Better edge clarity, wireless. It's good. And better tracking, right? Much better tracking.
Yes, absolutely. Right. But why can't, I think Pico should just say, look, we need virtual desktop on the Pico. As soon as you get it, it should be on in the library as soon as you sign up for it, because
then they would admit that their own software is not good enough.
I did try their own software and it was like shockingly bad. Like really bad. Felt sick, actually. It was all laggy and like, oh god, didn't like it. Virtual desktop, literally installed it, right? This is what I did. Installed it, plus like connected my computer. That's it, done. Easy.
Yeah, right. It's a killer really combination, really. Like a good computer, if you want to do PCVR, the Pico 4 and godlike on virtual desktop, wow, that is really, right now, still the best way to play PCVR, I think. If you want to have like wireless PCVR, it's great.
I have to also quickly say the sound quality from the Pico really surprised me. I mean, it's not G2, of course, but I mean, it doesn't need to be. I think it's
pretty
plenty good enough. I think it's very, very clever, especially, And the pass-through as well, color pass-through, very nice. And the haptics and the controllers, you don't realize how much better they are than the Quest until you go back to the Quest. And it just feels like, oh, hang on. Like I've got a new phone recently and the haptics on this are fantastic. And I didn't notice that until I went back to my old phone and thought, oh, wow, it's just those little things that make a difference. And the fact that it's not Meta makes all the difference to me, the fact that there's another player in the market. So I really hope, imagine a Pico 4 Link, like a display version.
That is basically the headset that we want, right? It would be so easy. Like, wow, they could make so many people happy by just doing this Pico 4 Link or Pico 5 Link.
It makes sense. Well, the thing is, I guess it will make sense because it's kind of like treading on their own tail a bit.
It doesn't make sense for them. We're too small. Those people like us, it's just like 160 people are watching this now who will want it.
And they're all the PCVR community as a whole.
Is currently virtual desktop is the only way to connect Pico 4 to PC?
No. You can use their own software to do wireless streaming. You can use a USB-C, a USB cable. The same thing like Quest. Exactly the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, though, guys. Like I got this on and I was so excited about it, like I am now. It's still not via error levels. Don't get me wrong. It's nothing like that. I'm not trying to say it's like.
But honestly speaking, it has more FOV than the Aero.
It does. Yes, it does.
Admittedly, it's wireless. It has sound. It is pretty good.
It literally the first few weeks I just used the Pico on its own, and then I had what Tetiana was saying. When I went back to the Aero, for a few moments, it was like, oh, hang on a minute, I don't remember it like that before. It was all like letterboxing.
Yeah.
But then after a couple of minutes, it's fine. It doesn't really make a difference to me personally. After a while, you get used to it. But yeah,
actually we do have
field of view is good.
We do have some people in the German community who have the Aero and the Pico 4, and they see themselves playing the Pico 4 more. Hello, Noidi.
Yeah, but what are they doing for games? Pico 4 is better for games, not
Noidi,
for flying.
He's in the chat. What do you do? Do you fly? So yeah, I don't know. We have to ask him. He's in the chat right now.
Who? Sorry,
yeah.
Who's that?
No, his name is Noidi. He's also in the chat.
Oh.
Yes. Let's see if he's there. Yeah, he was there before. Anyways, great headsets, and glad that you also enjoy it as much as me.
Absolutely, but no, I completely disagree with anyone who would ever say that the Pico is the only reason why you'd use the Pico 4 over the Aero is because it's wireless and it's a gaming headset. That for proper sort of high resolution, high quality race simming and flight simming, Aero is beyond anything that's out there, apart from perhaps the crystal, which I've yet to try. So
Right,
yeah,
right.
that's my view on it. Because it's the things like quality as well, isn't it? Like the quality of the device itself when
It's
you
very
pick
nice.
it up.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
yeah.
And the
that's important as
software.
well. Of
That's
course,
true.
you saw these things. But
It's
yeah, anyway,
definitely
I probably should
nice
wrap up
headset.
as well. I have been trying. I'll quickly mention. Don't know if you can see it on my seat. No, you can't. But I've been sent a haptic seat with 6 transducers. Sounds very technical, doesn't it?
With 6 transducers.
Transducers, yes. I didn't even know what they were until I had to kind of research it myself. But basically, what it does is it connects to your computer and to any sort of software. So, say for flying or in a race sim, and it will give you feedback. Say, for instance, you're racing around a track and there's a bump or something, you'll feel the bump in your left side or your right side or your back or whatever. And say for flying, when the landing gear comes up, you feel the bumps or the turbulence,
Oh,
and it's
okay,
all
cool.
through this seat, little padded seat thing. And I've been trying that, and it's amazing. It's so cool.
So does it have the profiles for these games, or is it somehow based on something else? Do games support this chair?
It does, absolutely. Yeah, it's just like a padded little seat thing that goes onto your chair. It is expensive though. It's very expensive, but I must admit, it's one of those things, a bit like your vest you was talking about. Like once you experience VR, feeling it like that, I don't know. It's hard to go back. To be fair, very hard to go back. Haptic buttocks, absolutely. you feel it in your backside. It's great.
It is. It is. It is what it is. I mean, call it how it is.
It is. Yeah, absolutely. You know, like when you land, you feel like the bump. You think, oh god, that was a bad landing. And once you fly without that again, it just feels really synthetic.
Something missing.
Very cold. Yeah, it doesn't feel right. So,
okay, so the games, they already include the kind of information to make your ass vibrate?
yes, basically. A lot of games have like what they call telemetry, and that you can feed the telemetry from that game into the software to make it really accurate. And at the moment, for flying purposes, it doesn't have that, but I'm not working with them at all. I'm just sort of giving them feedback, and hopefully over time they'll be able to incorporate that into flying. But for race sims, they do have telemetry for the seat. So say you're flying around bloody Silverstone or something, you'll feel everything as it should be, really. But again, it is expensive.
Company is this? Which company is it?
Oh, hang on. Sim Racing Studio, I think it's called. And the moment they're actually sold out of them anyway, so you can't get one, even if you want one.
Because they probably support like lots of cross-platform VR and flat screen too. I would assume, like for if they're specializing in racing, then there's mostly flat screen racing, right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's definitely something I wasn't even that bothered about. In fact, they emailed me about 3 or 4 times saying, "Yeah, please give it a go. Honestly, you can say anything you want." And I did end up trying it. And my first part of the review is that I said to everyone, I don't actually like this. I'm not keen. But once I got everything dialed in the settings, because the transducers are very powerful, but once you dial them down and separate them,
transducers are very powerful. Yeah, that sounds funny somehow. I don't know.
I'm used to saying it now, so it probably sounds ridiculous to you guys, but I'm so used to saying that word now. It sounds like something from the future or something. But yeah, it's such a cool thing. It really is.
Wow, great. So you're so used to it now, you cannot live without it anymore.
I can't live without that kick in the backside now. No, not at all. It's forever.
Yeah, good. Great to hear. And how expensive is it? If you could buy it?
£40,000. No, it's £400, I think it is, something like that. But I do have a discount code somewhere, which is not affiliated. Again, what an idiot. But no, you can use that and you'll get like £50 off or something, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need to hire like a financial manager or someone who would take care of all the negotiations for you. Because don't sell yourself short. You have a very targeted audience.
No, you have a super targeted audience. Really, exactly.
Thank you. No, it's we're a great bunch on my channel actually, and the Discord. We're like friends now, and we go flying together and stuff. And it's because it's a niche community. I quite like that. I quite like how it's niche. because it's a bit more sort of closely knit, and we're all very similar, all the same
Right.
passion, and it's all cool.
I
Yeah,
found your
great.
video on the website. It says what video review of VR Flight Sim Guide.
Oh yes,
I'm
I
gonna
think
watch
I am on there, yeah, somewhere. And for the first, honestly, for the first 10 minutes, I'm like, I don't like it, don't like this, and they were like, oh no, but then I realized it's not something you can just plug and play. You do need to change the levels and things, and once you have a bit of time with it, that's it. It's called a U-Shake 6. Thank you, GT. Yeah,
U-Shake 6 makes
U-Shake
sense.
6 transducers.
Transducers. Okay. Yeah, right. Cool. Okay,
But-
that was your week, or anything more to tell us?
All good. I've been gigging quite a lot with my band and flying in real life a lot, but apart from that, all good. I think
I
I'll probably
told
leave it there.
you.
Cool.
I told you, Steve, that is truly the one thing that I need in my life. You know, I would love
to do it.
Yeah, I need to do it. I think I would love the feeling to be on stage.
To start a
Actually,
band. Ooh.
yeah, but the problem is I cannot sing and I cannot play any instrument. So I don't know. I could probably review a headset on
We
stage.
can be
or
on the
something.
triangle.
Yes, that'd be a great idea.
This is the new Pimax Crystal.
Yes. Like, who is this guy?
Yeah.
Great idea.
And then in the end of the review, I like smash it on the
Yes. Proper
like you
rock and
smash
roll.
the guitar, like woo. Yeah.
You should try
Check
the
the bill
Maestro
quality out.
VR. You would be
Oh my-
conducting.
Oh,
Have
right.
you tried that?
I have not played. I've seen some videos about it. You're right. I haven't tried it yet. Yeah, but honestly, this is truly the one thing I believe I would enjoy a lot. I'm a very passionate guy, as you know, right? And I believe I could, if I would be able to play an instrument and then have like an audience who is like excited. Wow, I think I could make them go crazy.
Oh, honestly, I think you definitely have the passion and the flair for it. You just need to learn a few chords and then
Yeah,
get
right.
on stage and go for it.
Yeah. The
definitely.
good thing is, actually, I like punk rock music, and I heard I only need like 3 chords or something. Like,
That's exactly it. Yeah, you just need to in fact,
Power
just
chords,
one
right?
chord shape. It's like a fifth
Yeah,
chord, which
power
is just a
chords, right?
shape.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah,
then once you
exactly.
know that shape, you can just go anywhere
Okay.
in the fretboard, and it's just different chords, and that's it. You've learned.
Okay,
punk rock.
okay.
That's it.
Yeah, when I come to the UK and you have a gig, you must somehow put me on stage. This is my friend
Oh,
from
so I
from
definitely
VR.
will do that.
Oh, God. Everybody
I'm
would
so
This
enjoy
is
that.
what this
That'd be
show
great.
has come to.
Yeah, exactly. Like we are like 52 minutes in,
Steve
and we have
comes
not really
to
talked
one
about.
show a year and he hijacks the entire episode.
I'm sorry.
But it's okay. We don't have so many like super hot topics, so it's okay. It's fine. I think I should also tell you a bit about my week. What I
Yes,
did
definitely.
so far, right? Like, so I didn't do so many videos, but I did 2 videos. So the first video was my video about my visit of the Acer headquarters here in Taipei. I hope that everyone watched it. It's like an edited video where I talk scripted. Like I seldom do it. Normally I do the videos, just turn the camera on and say something. But this time I wrote a script and I was reading it. So yeah, I did some editing. I liked the video. I hope somebody watched it. No, somebody watched it. It was quite
Nice.
good, quite successful. And I tell people about the Acer, the new Acer technology for 3D monitors, where you don't need glasses and where you can play like your PC VR games, like God of War and so on and so forth. And I loved it. It's just like a super magical moment when you are looking at that screen and you expect it to be 2D, right? Because we've been looking at normal screens for all of our lives, and they haven't been 3D. But then it's perfect 3D, and I mean it perfect. And you don't have to wear glasses, and you can even like move with your head because there are like 2 cameras tracking your eyes and putting the 2 pictures exactly in the right direction. It is friggin' amazing. And when you play like a game that you know, like God of War, but now it's in perfect 3D, yes. So I
Cool.
absolutely hope that everyone watches this video if you haven't watched it yet. And I can tell you, this is truly a technology that I believe is a quite nice compromise between VR, like being completely immersed, and playing 2D games. right? I love VR, obviously, you know that, and I still obviously it's more immersive to be in VR, but seeing that perfect 3D on a 2D monitor and then playing something like God of War is great. It was really good. It was just such a big difference compared to playing like 3D on a 2D monitor. Loved it. Really loved it.
So how is it
Yeah.
like? Do you have to wear glasses? So I'm guessing it's tricking your eyes somehow, is it, to give
No,
you
you
that
don't
3D
have to
image?
wear glasses. You do not have to wear glasses.
That's
That
unusual.
is the point.
Okay.
I
That is the
I,
point.
I watched the video. I don't know what I expected it because I was watching it on a flat screen monitor, so I didn't really see
Yes,
it. So
this is
I'm
rubbish.
like,
It's not...
oh yeah, let's see. It's not
Yeah,
working.
no.
But like, oh yeah, well,
Yeah,
there's no
right.
way. But it's just something I guess you have to see for yourself, and all
You-
we can do is really
It's just like
just
VR.
hype it up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You just have to believe me in
Cool.
this point. This is truly you would love it. I know it. I know if you see it, if you are a gamer and you see that screen, you want it. That's something that I said in the video. You can buy that right now. Actually, it costs like $1,100 US, the screen only, and they also have like a gaming laptop where they already baked this technology in. It's called Predator Helios 3000 Spatial Labs Edition, which is quite a mouthful, and that costs like $3,500 US. But you can buy it now, and they have a huge list of games that is supported by this technology because they still have to manually make the games really work on it. Like the 3D information is already in the game, but they have to free it with their technology. So they really like take all the games that they think will work fine with the technology and fine tune it. Like some menus are not in 3D, so they kind of make it work. And yeah, anyway, so the list is growing, and I'm excited about this technology. And I believe once more people check it out, and once there are bigger screens, because right now the screens that they have is like 15.6 inch, which is like your laptop screen. But I know gamers want 27 inch, right? 30 inch. So yeah,
And we'll get
that's
TVs like that probably too to
oh
play
yeah.
PlayStation
Wow,
games.
that would be so good. That would be great. But then, yeah, PlayStation would have to support that.
Yeah.
Anyways, fantastic technology. Super loved it. Looking forward to show you more on the channel. And I think this technology could actually be successful this time. We had like 3D on the TVs, right, with these glasses that you had to wear. And we had it also on PC monitors some 10 years back or so from NVIDIA with such shutter glasses. But now, without glasses, now it's there. And it's amazing, really.
I do wonder,
Yeah.
like, would it be distracting after a while though? Like, for
No,
instance,
it
I'm
was,
playing.
the eyes were totally fine. Yeah.
I just think because at the moment I'm really enjoying a flat screen game. I'm playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla at the moment, and sometimes I'll play that for 2 or 3 hours at a time. I just can imagine if it's 3D for that length of time, maybe would it be distracting? Would it?
Actually, no. I'm telling you, like my eyes were completely fine. It's just like as good. The picture quality is as good as you look on your monitor right now, but
Cool.
it has 3D. It even felt more natural. Then I could turn off the 3D effect with a keystroke, and then I thought like what? How bad is that to see it in 2D again?
Yes, yeah, I get you.
And
Yeah.
I wanted it. I wanted it back as soon as possible. It was so
The only
good.
reason why I say that is because I've recently watched Avatar in 3D, the cinema, obviously, and I don't know. My eyes were straining after a while. I didn't actually enjoy it because obviously it was very different. Probably it's like a generation, very much different. Because obviously,
Next generation
Yeah, I
now.
feel like
Yeah.
it's still different because that's still a movie with actors that was made to look 3D, I guess. If it's the game that's completely 3D rendered, then it's more natural that way. Like when you're in VR, you don't feel that way.
Yeah,
'Cause
perhaps. Yeah.
It's all rendered, right? It's not just like actors put in there. I don't really know, but I would imagine that it just feels, I don't know, maybe it's something you get used to and you feel like this is how it's supposed to be, and then it's hard to go back to a flat screen. We've never experienced really anything like this for a long time, like we did with flat screens. So I would be
It's funny,
curious to try.
Exactly.
I don't even know why I'm asking that
Right.
question about eye strain after a few hours when I'm, in VR for like all day sometimes.
Oh yeah.
So, but I was curious. I just know the 3D thing for me. I found it well, anyway, in terms of the film that I watched, obviously it's going to be very different anyway. But I thought it was a bit distracting, and after a while, it was a bit blurry for me. But I'm sure it's much better than that on that laptop.
The thing is, it's just like there's no blurriness. I didn't see crosstalk where like one eye could see both pictures. No, it was like really just so good. And yeah, hopefully you will get to see it. Check it out.
I'd love to try
one of the next exhibitions or so. Hopefully you can see it. And this is tech that's coming. It's not only coming from Acer. There's other companies who are also like we're showing it at AWE. Like Sony was showing it and Leia was showing it. So it is coming. It is coming. This technology.
Did you order one for yourself? Did you get one?
No. But
you want a bigger one?
I will try it out. They will send me one, a loan unit. So that's going to happen soon on the channel. Yes. So that's good. That is really good. Yep. So, and then I made another video about HTC, like my thoughts, what HTC should do in order to make the XR Elite more successful, because in my opinion they would directly have a huge advantage over the Quest Pro and over the Pico 4 if they allowed people to directly stream to YouTube, because that is not possible on the Quest devices and on the Pico devices. And that is one reason why I don't like to stream with the Pico 4 or the Quest devices, because it's just so tough to stream directly to YouTube and you don't see any chat, right? So on the PSVR 1, it was so amazing. We could directly stream to YouTube and we would see the chat, and it's just fantastic. I hope that's going to come back with PSVR 2, right? So there was like one thing that the XR Elite could do directly, and they would directly have like a really cool way to advertise themselves for free. It's like a no-brainer for me. It's like it must be there, right? Makes sense or not?
Yeah, definitely. I never understand it myself. Like, even just like, for instance, like Microsoft Flight Simulator, like they know that it's a massive VR following, yet they do not want to help us out in making decent VR footage. So games, any VR game or any manufacturer, like just please make recording VR easier for us, because we want to promote it and we want to show the world how amazing it is, but it's always looks so crap on YouTube. So yeah, it's tough.
Right. So, and like obviously, like the XR Elite with the $1,099 asking price, excluding taxes, it has a hard time. Not many people are going to pick it up, so it has to think out of the box if it could think for itself. The XR Elite, right? So
maybe it does.
Who knows? Artificial intelligence. So the thing is, like, I made this video, and also my ideas, my hope for them, or my advice would be somehow set it on installments together with the Viveport Infinity package that is also like something that they have and that the competition does not have. So yeah, who knows? That's what I hope that they would do. And you know what? Actually, I must tell you, I am glad that HTC is actually watching my videos, because I got a message on LinkedIn from the project lead from HTC. Hello there. And he said, thank you for the video. And they're totally looking into it. And I thought that was cool.
That's
and
excellent.
Also, really, really. Also,
nice.
the person charged for marketing and communication here in Taipei, he also sent me a message, and he thought that was a really good, interesting video. So yeah, cool. So hopefully something's going to happen. Other than that, actually, I was doing lots of work behind the scenes, because here on MRTV, normally you get to see hardware, and you get to see the hardware very early. And actually, it is not so easy to make that happen. So if you think like, Sebastian, he just got to relax and open all the packages that are being sent his way. No, it is like a huge effort to get the stuff. Like right now, I'm working on the HTC Vive XR Elite, on the Pimax Crystal, and on the PSVR2. And hopefully I'm going to get all the headsets early, but it's tough. It's really, really not easy to make that happen. And the person who is on the other side, on the receiving side from these companies, I'm so sorry to be me. No, it's like they are
Oh, it's him
really like
again.
they this guy really, when it's about getting hardware, you don't want to be on that other receiving side. It's like I'm relentless. I'm
You have
relentless.
to be. I guess you have to be really though.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
wow. Normally they will give up at one point, and here you have it. But stop
Yeah.
stop harassing me, please, Sebastian. You get it.
Right.
I'm sending it your way. Okay. So yeah. Yep.
That's how you do
So
it.
yeah. So that's actually what I'm working on in the background. Like this is very time intensive, but it's going to happen.
So you have a
Yeah.
contact even with the PlayStation marketing team for sending the unit?
Uh,
I didn't think anybody was receiving it early. I thought everybody's waiting for.
yeah.
Do you
Well,
have secrets?
you gotta be. Yeah. Well, Sony Taiwan knows me now. They didn't know me before, and I didn't know them before, but now they know me.
Wow.
That's
Yes.
ace. No, that's good. It's good because I think that should be a thing anyway. I do feel that someone in your position with such an influence that you have should get devices a lot earlier so that people can make an informed decision. It just makes sense to me. So
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, who knows? Who knows? So that's what I was working on actually. Yep, in the background of the channel. And let's see what's going to happen. Hopefully it's going to happen. I don't have any of the devices here yet. Still working on it. So
I'm really looking
they
forward to seeing.
they have not yet given up.
I am looking forward to seeing the PSVR content. I'm going to be watching that, a lot when it drops. Even me, I'm just curious to see what it looks like, what people's thoughts are and stuff. And yeah, it's
Right. So yeah,
Yeah.
I have the feeling that you might want to get one too. After you,
it's a lot of money though, isn't it? £1,000 basically for a PS.
Yeah, you're right. If you don't
it's a
have
lot of money.
if you don't have the PS5 yet, right? Okay,
For
Yeah,
someone who
but-
doesn't really play consoles, but anyway, yeah, probably move on.
Yeah.
I feel like your time is all invested in flight sims. I don't
It
even
is.
know.
I don't even know how. Yeah, you're totally right.
Yeah, some of these
struggle is-
games that will be coming out will be new, like the Horizon and the Village. But there are also so many ports that come from Quest. I don't really know. Unless I feel like at this point, if you're not interested in playing Horizon and Resident Evil, then all other games can. Gran Turismo 7 also, but then all other
That does
games
look
can
good.
be kind of played on Quest. So yeah, if you're they're curious about it, it's worth getting into it. But I feel like it would be quite an investment if you're not going to play
Absolutely,
long
I
term.
totally agree. It
But
would be
who
just
knows?
I
out of
want you to
curiosity.
get it because I want to hear what you'll think. But
Yeah.
realistically,
Honestly,
it is not cheap.
I truly think for a VR content creator, those £1,000, these are an investment that you should make now. Because from my feeling is that lots of people will be excited about it. Obviously, I am excited about it. So I believe it's a good investment. Anyways,
Okay.
let's probably should we start with the show?
An hour and a half.
Yeah,
Actually, 1
it's
hour.
like an hour and 8 minutes have passed and we have not gotten into our stuff. So let's do this now. So let's start with the VR topic, that VR is dead again. So there's lots of crazy things happening, and they happened quite in succession. So lots of people were laid off from Meta last year already, right? That happened last year, like thousands of jobs. They were really cutting lots of people off, and lots of people lost their jobs. Now we heard from Microsoft that they also actually have laid off so many people related to VR. Like it seems like they're completely cutting everything that doesn't give them direct revenue right now. For example, the Windows Mixed Reality team has completely been disbanded. So no more Windows Mixed Reality headsets. Yeah. So some people might be really happy about that. But still that is not great news. Then also the HoloLens team, HoloLens, that has been like the marquee project of Microsoft, has been laid off. So it seems like the HoloLens is dead. And we were actually already like speculating about it when we heard that Meta keynote, and then we saw that Microsoft saying that they're going to bring all the software now to the Quest Pro, right? Not anymore on HoloLens, or probably still there. But anyways, there was already like a little sign of it. And what else had to go? Altspace. It's crazy, right? So many people spend so much time on Altspace, having all these social connections, building all these assets, and having a great time. And then now it's just being, let go. So it's going to be stopped. Crazy. And also now, what we heard recently this week, and I want to ask you about that as well. Echo VR, like one of the most loved esports games, right? Like a really polished and amazing game that people really love, that became like a big part of some people's lives for esports, for VR esports. It's just so surprising when I heard that they would just stop it like this. Just like this. One of the very few multiplayer games where you would easily find somebody to play with, and where actually really this kind of esports has formed around. So, what are your thoughts, Tetiana? Is VR dead, and why is Echo VR being just cancelled?
Oh, that is a tough question as of why it's being
I know,
canceled. I don't.
I know.
That's like
I
thanks,
think we want to
thanks for
know.
that easy,
Yeah, we want to know
easy
now,
lead into this
Tetiana. Tell us,
discussion.
to give it to us. You are a
All I
well-read
know is that I
woman.
remember very clearly when before I started my channel, and when yeah, actually that's a cute story. Before I got into like content creation as a YouTuber, and I was still doing my research in VR, and I was very new and I was learning more about it. I was going into all these Facebook groups sharing I think it was like some kind of a survey that I was doing for one of my research studies. And I got to talking to one person there who introduced me to Discord, which is crazy to think about it, that there was a time I didn't know it. And the very first group was this Echo VR community. And
Okay.
the way he was talking about it, the way he was describing it as the most like wholesome, amazing, supportive community of players that is just so great to get together. And Echo VR is the only thing that he really plays in VR, because this is so amazing just to hang out with friends, and it's so unique. And I thought, wow, that this is the top of VR. This is how people have fun in VR. And of course, like I've since played Lone Echo, and I've observed how that game was loved by the community and even by Zuckerberg himself. I mean, we all remember how that game was featured at the Connect. Like, wasn't he
Right.
talking about how he was
Yes.
how proud he was of that and how happy he was to play it? So with all of that, and with this image of this game that was already in my head, and with all the people just being in love, I could not believe that was really happening. And it really boggles me that they are unless there's something happening that we really don't know or don't want to know, they are shifting their priorities way to a different side, from releasing a headset that's kind of professional but not really, almost not talking about games at all during the last Connect, and now slashing down the very successful multiplayer platform that has, I think, tens of thousands of active players. It's just backwards priorities, completely not thinking about gamers and communities. And I don't know. I know they're not stupid. Okay. I know they're actually very smart, the people who work for Meta, but I don't know what they're doing. I don't want to assume they are completely disconnected with their community.
I
It's
think, you know what? I think they honestly don't care about the community. Really. They simply do, they
I
simply
don't know.
follow their numbers, and
Yeah,
probably the numbers were just not right. They were not favorable. And okay, then they make the decision, we stop this. We can't do this because we're not making any money out of this game anymore, right? And well, I really loved actually that Meta is the one company that invests so many billions into the technology that we love, right? Honestly speaking, they have been doing the heavy lifting for all of the for most of the industry by investing billions of dollars into the company. But unfortunately, this has not paid off yet, and it will probably not pay off for the next 10 years or so. And the reality is simply that the numbers are biting Mr. Zuckerberg in the ass. And he is responsible to the stakeholders. And he needs to do something, and that is cutting costs. And that's why last year he has laid off so many people. And also now they are simply cutting off what doesn't make money.
Yeah. So
That is what I think.
basically what you're saying is it takes too much work for them to keep it alive. Like it doesn't justify the cost, this outcome. Because I was for some reason, I mean, I don't know, based on, the gaming community, it still probably brings them enough income to at least cover those costs. Isn't that like one of the highest played multiplayer games out there for standalone VR?
But is it a paid game? Isn't it free?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Sure,
So
How do
tried
I
it.
need?
then they
Tried it.
then they don't make money, right? It's only incurred costs for running the servers. So I don't really understand the business model of this game. It's probably a money sink. Yeah, exactly.
Steve, you played it, right?
I've
never
I've played
tried
it actually.
Oh, you
Actually,
played it. Yeah.
it's great. Yeah, it's actually really a cool game. Like you have this frisbee, right? And you are in zero gravity with your teammates. I think 3 teammates against the other team, and it's tactical. It's cool. It's really fun, and I know that some people, play it religiously, like it's sports. So it's sad for them, and it was like one of those marquee games, really one of those games that you could show off as, okay, this is really VR sports. So it is sad that they let this go and that they don't actually just keep the investment in this open. That I think is truly.
Well, that means that things must be really bad for Meta. I mean, to make a decision like that, I'm sure they knew that the backslash would be really aggressive because they're killing something really loved. If it doesn't bring them money, doesn't mean that people will just let it go without fight.
I mean,
They're very explicit about killing it off. They're not just labeling it. Oh, this is an unsupported game.
Is it just a readjustment? Is there something else they're working on that's going to be better than that they might be introducing? Something more.
They said something
in line
that
with
they
their
will
metaverse.
Yeah, perhaps.
Yeah, but it's already established. It's so much easier to improve something that's already established and has a community than build something completely new. And imagine, like, you quit your channel, you start a brand new YouTube channel, bring all your community on there. How long will it take you? It's like,
if it's great, probably not so long.
Well, it will still take quite some time, and even with their Horizon Worlds, I mean, they're trying to attract people. It's like, come on, it's not working fast enough. If they think that they are losing money now, I would like to see how it's gonna turn out for them if they introduce something brand new.
Yeah, I don't know. That's strange. Yeah,
Yes, go on, Seb, go on.
There's a petition right now, an online petition, where fans of the game ask Meta to put the code into open source and also the code of the servers, so that the community can simply run the game themselves, which I think is a beautiful idea. I think that would be fantastic if that was possible. But it seems like it's not so simple because, well, it's their tech, right? They have programmed the tech, and they don't simply want to give it for free to some other companies or just to the public domain. So I don't think that's going to happen. But still, it's sad. It seems like we you know what I feel right now? We're getting out of this phase where companies simply believe that this technology is going to take off really fast. Like Meta, the biggest company who invested in this, they also understand this now, that they cannot just simply mindlessly invest even they have good ideas, because they simply need to generate revenue sooner. And I have the feeling that those companies that are now cutting it, they are understanding that this is the long game, and that they leave the heavy lifting to some others. Like, I think Microsoft, they leave the heavy lifting now to Meta and probably Apple, who will hopefully catapult this into spheres where it's easier to make money. That's what I think right now. It's more like we are now in the era of more, not anymore the dreaming of about this technology, but more the realistic expectations of this.
Do you think,
do you
Seb,
think-
that I was going to ask Seb actually what you think in terms of, obviously Meta is the leader right now and they're the ones pushing VR and taking the risks. Are all the other companies just watching Meta and seeing what their next move is and then adjusting what they do accordingly?
Yeah.
You know, when they hear these scares and hear these layoffs and things like that, is it making other companies get a bit sketchy? Oh, battery exhausted. What?
Oh
Tetiana,
no!
she's not
Tetiana's
real.
battery is exhausted. Tetiana,
She's a
it's an
robot.
AI.
Oh my god.
I'm exhausted, guys. I'm so
Oh, no.
exhausted.
Oh, this is a
secret is
great
out.
episode. The secret.
Don't mind
Tetiana
me.
is
When someone's
ChatGPT.
listening
Are
to
you
the
just changing your
version
podcast,
4.
batteries?
Sorry, carry on.
Yeah. We're waiting for you to make this more
That's
exciting
fine.
for you.
No,
kidding.
no pressure.
So,
But yeah, I just feel
I think other,
yeah.
I think the other companies,
Oh, shit.
they simply see how tough it is. First of all, even to compete against the companies like, for example, Meta, or now also ByteDance, Pico, and they probably, because of this reason, don't even try to compete. So that's why I honestly think it's amazing that there are still companies who are trying to compete against Meta and ByteDance. Like, for example, obviously Sony, right? They are a big player, but also smaller ones, like, for example, HTC and Pimax. Honestly, if you really think about this, they are really the David who's fighting against Goliath. Really, absolutely, right?
Yeah.
So that they're still there, and that they're still trying at least to get into the market, that is remarkable. And I believe for that we need to applaud Pimax and HTC, even though they do many things wrong, in my personal opinion. Oh yeah, like Lynx, right, in Europe, in Paris, right? Greetings to Stan, absolutely. So absolutely remarkable that there are still those Davids who fight against Goliath. Anyways, so that is interesting to see what's going to happen. And that's also what I think with HP. So there are rumors that HP is going completely out of the VR game. Steve, what are your feelings about that? Since you are, just like me, a big fan of the Reverb G2 that we really loved. Still.
I am absolutely gutted when I've been trying to contact them for quite a while now with the contact I do have. And I don't know about you, Seb, but it's been so quiet and I haven't had anything back from them. So I was getting quite concerned about that. But then when, of course, sadly, as Bradley kind of sort of mentioned that from his sources that it seems to be true, I'm not surprised by it at all, especially because, HP really did rely on that collaboration with Microsoft anyway. And of course, with the Windows Mixed Reality platform now being a sort of sketchy, in terms of its future, what's going to happen to it? It's sketchy, like, well, where else could they go with it unless they was a native Steam VR headset? But I do wonder whether they had something that they were working on, but because of this news from Microsoft and this sort of lack of support, I don't know what kind of emails they've had from them, whether they've realized that they just can't viably do it. But I do wonder, it's frustrating because the G2 didn't need a lot to get up to the standards of 2023. It just needed, better lenses, obviously pancake lenses on a G3. Imagine like everything the same, but different lenses and perhaps better tracking algorithms and better controls. And then there you are. You've got an amazing headset that would sell
Agreed.
a lot.
A lot.
So I don't.
Absolutely.
I just don't. It's such, and for them to get out the market at this point, it seems such a shame because hardware is now catching up with VR finally. You know, the G2 on a 4090 is an incredible experience now. So I just feel I can understand why they've done that, but it's such a hammer blow for the PC VR crowd and simming crowd, because we don't really have a middle ground headset. We've got the high end stuff like the Crystal, the Aero, and perhaps like the 8KX, and I think consider that a high end headset still. And then you've got the Pico and the Quests of the world, but where's that middle ground? We used to have the Rift S, and the Valve Index perhaps is a higher end of that middle ground. The Vive Pro 2. We haven't got those headsets anymore, and that's where we need that space.
Hopefully the Valve Deckard could fill into this, like giving us a headset that is not super expensive, not super high end, but still amazing, obviously. And I believe it could be a great headset, but yeah, we don't have it yet. Hopefully it's going to come out this year. 2023, it could be a crazy year for VR. Yeah, but
now it's all eyes are on PSVR and Pimax Crystal, really. If it wasn't for those two things, my God, would it be an awful year for VR, really? At this point, anyway, in terms of, unless anything else gets announced, which I'm sure it will do. We're still very early on, but those are the two big things. We've got to focus on the fact we've got a high-end PC VR headset coming out very soon, and of course we've got the console sort of crowd as well, and of course the Quest 3. So it's going to be a good year for VR, I think, but it's not good at the moment with these announcements, of course.
I think AR development or like mixed reality development is kind of deterring from the game too, because more companies are kind of getting interested and playful to add that to their headsets, but it doesn't really contribute much to the gaming aspect and improving the quality of gaming. So we see it in XR Elite. Even Pimax is trying to dabble in that, promising that faceplate with mixed reality. There's Apple coming that's going to be, targeted towards mixed reality use, and it's not going to be a gaming headset. So as much of a splash that Apple will create in the VR community, it's not going to, become that VR gaming headset that we need to make VR continue pushing it mainstream. So on the one hand, as a tech enthusiast, I'm very excited about seeing these mixed reality technologies. But as a gaming enthusiast, it's not really helping, if it makes sense. But what we see is these companies getting out of VR business, and that's not good. So like you said, all eyes are on PSVR2, Pimax, even though there's still, I see so much skepticism in the community, and we can't ignore the size of the headset. It's just so big and not the most comfortable one. Probably not going to be the first choice of many users, just for those who are trying to get into VR for the first time. But also the HTC one, I believe that those are the three, plus Quest 3 that we haven't seen yet. They're kind of holding this whole VR gaming right now in their hands.
I'm really looking forward to checking out the XR Elite, because they did say they're going to send me a unit to review, so I'm looking forward to that.
Nice. Nice that they said that. I haven't had so much luck yet, but I'm still onto it. Yeah, but they sent me an HTC pillow.
Oh, okay. Start.
It's almost the same thing.
Maybe you could review that. Unboxing of the HTC pillow.
I mean, they do merch unboxing.
Well, I can see his headsets there. I can see. I just got some headsets there.
Oh yeah, it's a cute little setup.
Oh wow! Can you review it on the channel?
You didn't even open it. You're gonna do unboxing.
Yeah,
unbagging.
What's the build quality like?
Yeah, the build quality. Wow, it's kind of mushy though.
Mushy build quality.
No, honestly speaking,
how many transducers on it?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Honestly, I would have preferred the HTC XR Elite, dear Vive.
Is it in there? It could be inside.
Oh,
it could be the case.
Oh, that would be fun.
Maybe they put lens in there, and you'll have to build your own headset, from the little pieces they sent you in pillows.
I don't know. Probably it's a test. Probably I should like unbag this first, and just then I will get the XR Elite.
Say it's the best pillow you've ever had, and then they'll be in touch with you, right? You can send it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So cool. So cool. Yeah, okay. So I don't think this whole VR is dead. Not at all. But just like companies are reassessing, reassessing their investments, and they understand that this is the long game that has to be played. It's not like a quick move. It's not like, okay, we invest this now and the next year we're going to have to reap the rewards. So it is some kind of reshuffling and reinvestment and re-strategizing going on, waiting for others to do the heavy lifting, probably. And for the ones who already did the heavy lifting, they also found out, okay, we need to keep our eyes on the price and simply do things that will generate revenue earlier. That's what I think. But I don't think that the whole thing is dead. Not at all. Yeah. Anyways, we also should talk a bit shortly about the pricing of the Quest Pro. So recently, it had gone down from $1,499 to $1,099, matching the price point of my Vive pillow. No, the XR Elite. The XR Elite.
Vive
So,
XR pillow.
the Vive XR pillow. So yeah, but I think this was only temporary, right, Tetiana? If you go
Yeah.
now, to the website, you cannot find this price anymore. Is it?
Uh,
Was it
let's see.
Amazon.com or was it Meta.com where you can find that price?
No, it
Amazon,
was
I
on
think, right?
Met. I'm actually not sure. I haven't
Let me
checked that,
find
but I
Quest
still
Pro.
see an article about it from like 4 days ago. So I don't think that's
Oh no, it's still here.
done yet.
A Meta Quest Pro,
Yeah.
$1,099 on Amazon.com, actually.
Okay.
So
Huh.
oh wow. And I could actually get this to Germany for this price.
Only for
Oh, I mean, I'm just looking if they would send it to me in Germany, because in Germany I can only get it for 1,800 euros. So actually, if you get it now, if you're in Germany and if you want it, you can simply go to Amazon.com and have it imported, and it's going to be way cheaper. That's crazy, though. That is
Mhm.
crazy. That is crazy.
Yeah, but gosh, I just have to say, I think it's such a slap in the face of all the people who's paid the full price only a couple months
You
ago.
drove to
Yeah.
France.
Yeah, I
So
drove to France.
think about your petrol money as well.
Oh
It,
yeah,
it's
yeah. It was expensive. It wasn't expensive.
was a
Exactly.
really expensive price tag, and it was a big decision for these people to try to invest it. And not only do I think that many of them didn't get what they were hoping they would get, but now maybe that would be a completely different decision for them, a completely different decision process if it was cheaper. And honestly, that's the price for this headset. That's how
Yeah.
much it's worth, maybe.
Right.
Because isn't that exactly the price of XR Elite as well? And I think that they are like very similar on the level of the tech features that they offer. And yeah, I mean, it must be quite disappointing for that. And of course, it can't be a good sign for indicating how the sales are going of this headset.
100% agreed.
Quest Pro, yeah, but it's really just I see it as an experimental headset, really, isn't it? To be fair, I think it's showing where the industry is going in terms of like the
Yeah.
Quest 3 and everything.
Yeah, so just
I
like with Quest 1, it's the first headset of the new line of this professional headset. That's exactly how they named it. They have this budget gaming line and then more of a professional line. But with Quest, they've already had two. They had time to experiment with the first one, and now they're kind of pushing this new one, and who knows where it will go, if anywhere. And I'm so sorry that I interrupted you. I realized you weren't finished.
Who, me or Seb?
Yeah, you,
No,
Steve,
no.
you, Steve.
no, it's fine. I've lost my train of thought now, but I think just generally speaking, actually, Seb and
Yes.
actually Tetiana, have you both tried the XR Elite and the Quest Pro? Which one would you pick? I think you both tried it, haven't you?
Yeah, like I mentioned already, we talked about this in the last episode. I would pick the XR Elite, but I haven't tried it enough. I still need
Yeah.
a deeper understanding of the XR Elite. But for gaming, I would pick the XR Elite simply because right from the get-go, first of all, it's cheaper. Okay, in the US, probably not anymore, but it's directly made for gaming, as in you don't have light leakage, right? For here, you directly have super much light leakage. You first have to mod it so that it becomes more of a gaming device. And then I told you guys here on the channel quite often that this has a really bad binocular overlap. And the
Oh,
problem is
yes.
now, the problem is I cannot unsee it. It's
Yeah,
like
I totally
the
understand
thing is,
that.
if I would only use this headset, then I could unsee it. But because I use the Pico 4 most of the time, which has like a really good binocular overlap, whenever I put this on, it feels like, okay, my eyes are somehow binocular overlap concerned, not really feeling comfortable. And no, so for me, it was absolutely $1,800, not euros, plus petrol, not well spent. Unfortunately, it's not a bad headset, not at all, not at all, right? But unfortunately, it has too much flaws for it being €1,800
Yeah, it
headset.
kind of feels like almost they put that on sale to help with the Quest 3, perhaps in terms of just money and of development and user feedback. It just feels like an experimental sort of headset
Yeah,
in that respect.
And think about the price increase on Quest 2 and price drop on Quest Pro. Aren't they doing it to reduce this gap between the two headsets so that it kind of makes sense to go for the new one? It makes sense to spend like $500 more now instead of almost over 1,000. And to that comparison that Sebastian started, I will add, it only makes sense right now to go for Quest Pro if you are a Quest fan, like the Questie that's already invested so
Of
much
course.
into the library that is just not ready to start from scratch. But I think that in literally all other aspects, if you're a brand new VR user and you're like, okay, which headset should I go for? I mean, come on. XR Elite is smaller, it's more comfortable, it has a full light blocker in the box that you don't have to buy for extra $50 or $60, and still those light blockers don't block my light completely in my case.
It's crazy.
Super portable, so light, and has a hot swappable detachable battery. Also has full color pass-through, hopefully good enough to compete with Quest once they turn on the depth sensor, even though again doesn't matter for gaming. Like, it's nice to have, but it doesn't matter. And the only thing, like the major thing,
diopter, the lenses.
diopter,
you can put the diopter. That is pretty
accessibility,
sweet, right?
That is a game changer. That
is really good.
The major thing, two major things that make Quest Pro stand out are local dimming, which actually does make difference. I think games pop better at Quest Pro,
Yeah,
but
the
if
colors
you've never
are
seen
way
it,
better. Absolutely.
you don't know.
Yes,
better. And eye tracking, face tracking, but again, they haven't even incorporated it in gaming UI yet, like PlayStation VR2. It's just for social games, and yes, it makes a difference, but not if you play things like Red Matter or something that doesn't include these social features. Developers haven't really started working with them to use like eye tracking for UI. Like in PlayStation VR2, you can look at the main menu and you'll select it just by looking at it. For some reason, it's still not here.
I haven't really had the chance to use the eye tracking or anything, the face tracking. I didn't really use it here, right?
It's a bit of a gimmick at the moment, isn't it?
At the moment, yes, absolutely.
It won't be in the
really
future.
It's like a development device for the AR future, but other than that, not really.
Developers love it because they can animate their characters with their own face. So I talked to many developers who were like in love with Quest Pro.
Totally get it. Absolutely.
Then sell it to them. Like, come on, don't show it. Don't present it like something that everybody will use instead of their desktop, because it doesn't work that way.
Not there.
I can understand Pico and Meta for not adding a DisplayPort connection, because that's treading on their own tail, isn't it? Like I said before. But I don't understand why HTC would not have that option, because that would give them a whole new market of PCVR
exactly.
gaming.
Oh, you're so right. You're so right.
Just imagine it, like the XR Elite as a native PCVR headset as well as a standalone. That would give it that extra huge feature that I would buy one instantly, and I think most people here would at least consider it, because they need that extra revenue from the two different sources of VR.
You're totally right. It makes so much sense. Oh, I don't understand. It is so strange. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, the Quest Pro, it could be better. Unfortunately, it must be better for that price. Here, like I have shown you that probably before as well. Here, my Quest Pro, it has a beard. You know. So when I wear this, I have a little beard here, which is very unfortunate for Joe.
Try put it on for us.
So, is that a beard or a mustache, like Charlie Chaplin?
It's a mustache, yeah. Charlie Chaplin, exactly. Charlie Chaplin. So, yeah. So
is that because the microphone pops?
Because obviously the microphone pops so badly. The microphone pops so badly.
That's bad. For a premium headset.
It does. It's very bad.
For a headset that is supposed to be for professional things, right? So
it's pretty bad, actually.
What about the HD? What's the microphone like on the XR Elite? Is it anywhere near?
I don't know.
That is the Vive Pro.
Probably that's the reason why they did not send it to me. I would totally find out about the microphone and go crazy again. I don't know. Yeah. So, yep. So $1,099 is a price that is much more, how to say that, it makes much more sense. Right?
Realistic.
For this realistic. So
yeah,
I'm not sure. Hopefully they keep the price like that.
I wonder if they got scared of the XR feedback, because
I think so. Yes. Yes.
They know. Yes.
Absolutely.
They know they have this benefit of, the big gaming library, but I think they started doubting themselves whether that would be enough to sway users, especially new users, because that's what they want. They want more new people, and with new users, it's a losing battle. So, yeah, I honestly think they got scared.
They got absolutely scared. That's why exactly they matched the price to the dollar. Exactly $1,099.
HTC should now lower theirs $100, and then we'll have a price war. And eventually we have to afford these
$999, like $1 lower.
I like it.
XR Elite $299.
Wow, that would be good. That would be great. Yeah. Anyway, so
backwards betting game.
What do you think, Tetiana? Do you think that this price drop will make a difference now in terms of sales? Do you think more people will pick it up now?
Oh gosh. Well, I feel like the people who were on the edge with it, I think it would help them sway in this direction. Yes, because I mean, XR Elite is still not here. The Quest Pro is right over there, like you can get it tomorrow with Amazon, and of course the gaming library, I mean, it shouldn't be underestimated. It's always going to be a winning point for them. So yes, I think it's going to help them, and they're pushing it really hard. I can see everybody's talking about it, but we kind of see through it. I mean, it's still $1,000 headset, so it's more weird what they are targeting right now.
So they are targeting right now. The question is, would you get a Quest Pro, or would you get a PlayStation 5 plus PSVR2 for the same price? It's not such a tough question, right? It's not such a tough question. But also same question for the XR Elite, though. Same question.
So yeah, because now they're all in the same level, really. I mean, kind of.
The
cat
just had it. Is that your cat, Tetiana?
Yes, that's why I picked him up, because he wants attention. Actually, he wants.
I think he has an opinion on this as well, to be honest.
Yeah. What do you think about it? What did you get?
I believe, honestly speaking, most people are going to choose PS5 plus PSVR2 because they have the added benefit of the PlayStation 5 that they can also use for, I don't know, God of War or whatever is in right now. So yeah, gonna be tough for both for the HTC XR Elite and also for the the Quest Pro.
Yeah, but
All
it's
right.
good. It's good that at least now people have options. People are watching our videos to see which one, offers what. Because the truth is they're all offering very different things.
Of
So
course, yes.
especially with PSVR2, it's not even that kind of a competition because it's a very easy plug in and play, and is the cheapest way to get the highest PC VR quality of gaming without needing to buy Steve's graphic card and set up your whole computer. It's just such an easy gateway to high-end gaming, but you're kind of sacrificing the flexibility of side loading or getting more kind of
Right.
standalone. And so I kind of like it. I like that there's this variety and different options. They're not just the same hats as that you have to find.
Yeah, that's true.
Like 5-10
That's for sure.
5-10 differences. This is the
That's
same
for
picture.
sure. That's for sure. So now let's get to the meat of today's podcast. I loved everything that we talked until now, but now let's talk about the PlayStation VR2. We had already talked about it quite a bit in the past, but it's drawing closer. The big day, the 22nd of February, is drawing closer when we finally will get the PlayStation VR2. And the topic or the title of today's podcast is, should we manage our expectations of PSVR2 a bit? Because I do have the feeling that it is kind of like, obviously we are all excited, we VR fans, and I do feel probably it's getting a bit to some kind of hype stage already, or it had been going there, where people feel that the PSVR2 is the holy grail of VR that will single-handedly help our industry to survive or to even thrive. Like, so super high expectations are lying on this little headset. But probably we should tone down our expectations a bit, because really, honestly speaking, if you look at the specs of the headsets and now the first hands-on from several people now coming out, which are not anymore so super positive, right? Like now, like for example, Nadi's video. Actually, he thought like it didn't look so amazing, like what he said, like small sweet spot, like the tracking was not as good as Quest 2, and like in general, resolution wise, not something that is like going to make us enthusiasts that have already been looking through pancake lenses like go crazy. What are your thoughts on that?
Can I just say something about that?
Of course. That's why. Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
why
of
you're
course, that's why I'm
here.
here.
You've tried
Because
it. Actually. So I'd like
after
to
you
hear your
said
You have
it,
tried it.
kind of the answer I think is kind of like obvious, especially the way you presented it. You said it yourself. There are so many people who tried it, who were first to try it, second to try it. Mike was invited to be the very first one, YouTuber to kind of give it a go. Then
Directed to it.
there was CES, and there were a few people were also invited, to these very private showings. So there are very, very few reviews, but there were people who kind of got their hands on, but they're all extremely fresh. And people were sharing their excitement and their first emotions, and everybody watched them. Like, everybody was watching those first reactions because there was so limited number of them. Now it's already been done, but more people are getting to test it. What's new is there to say? You have to say something that's different from everyone else who's reviewed it. And I'm not saying that they're being dishonest, but if everyone who tries it just says, yes, this is great, and it kind of repeats everything that's already been mentioned, then what's the value in your review? And some of the things
Okay.
I agree with, like I said it also in my review, that it's not the best quality or sharpness that you have ever seen. If you tried Vario Aerial, it's sharper. If you tried Crystal, it's sharper. I didn't notice any like issues with tracking, but maybe someone else did. It's kind of based on their experience. Yeah, we are not saying that this is the ultimate headset that's better than anything else that has been ever invented. But we are looking at what is the value of this product. Is it easy enough for early adopters? Is it bringing the new content that is going to attract people and give them a wonderful experience in this VR world, and for like reasonable price? So I think that's more important. But yeah, we can just sit around and talk how the quality could be better, and maybe tracking is not something like we could pick on all of these things, but in that case we're just going to be losing the bigger picture here, and I think we've already discussed that before.
I don't think
Right.
it needs to be sharper. For its use case scenario, it's gaming. I think for VR gaming, I don't think even for me, I don't think sharpness and resolution is so important, because really, I suppose it depends on what you're going to be doing with it. Having said that, I'm kind of changing my mind as I'm talking, because I'm thinking race games. There is actually race sims that are going to be like Gran Turismo. That's going to be on the PlayStation, isn't it? So I suppose that's important.
Yeah, absolutely. GT7,
I don't know. I just that wouldn't be as from a perspective of a VR gamer. That wouldn't be top of my list. Actually, it'd be more sort of like the game library, which is going to be like 30 games on launch, isn't there, or near enough? Which is going to be something very exciting. The haptics is something that I'd be very excited about as a gamer point of view. But I mean, one thing that actually the thing that bothers me the most, regardless, is the fact there's no sound. Why is there no actual
speakers on the thing? There are speakers, not speakers. There are like buds, in-ear buds that you could put inside.
That's rubbish. That's rubbish.
That is not great.
That's such an oversight.
Especially when you are used to something like Valve Index. Yeah, right. Or
says me with an arrow.
Or the Reverb G2. Yeah, but I want to comment on what Tetiana said. So I don't want to discount those new opinions just because they were not the first. So they're okay. I've seen the Nici one, but I've also heard from other colleagues, like German reviewers from another German podcast called Mixcast. So they have also just tried it, and they also said the same things. Like they also said like that the sweet spot is actually really small, for example, and that in the menus didn't look really sharp compared to, for example, Quest Pro. And the Quest Pro is just okay in terms of resolution, right? So I don't want to discount those new opinions as bad just because they were not the first ones, right? And then these are people that have looked at other VR headsets a lot. So simply, I don't think that people who are used now to aspheric lenses or to pancake lenses, I don't think that they will be blown away by the picture. Just from what I heard. Just from what I heard, right? It's really, I haven't looked through it yet.
I would never buy a Fresnel-based headset again. I wouldn't, personally. I don't think anyone would who's experienced pancake, definitely.
So the thing is, like, I've just seen the lenses, and the lenses, they look like crazy Fresnel. You can see so many concentric rings, and I just can't believe that they won't have a God ray problem. Well, it looks crazy, actually. This looks like really one of those old-style Fresnel lenses where you would see lots of God rays. You know, guys, I don't want to completely curb our enthusiasm and our how would say like looking for ourselves looking forward to the device. I'm super looking forward to the device, and I'm
sorry guys, that's my dog's going crazy.
Is the animal farm?
I think someone's at the door. Sorry,
that is Sony. That is Sony who's like,
oh my god, it is.
Who's like sending the hounds of hell to us now? Oh, they're talking bad about PlayStation. Kill them.
Just as I click off the main screen, I could have muted it, but I was just literally looking at. Oh, sorry about that, guys. As you were.
Yeah, Sony dogs. Yeah. So I'm just, Sony
dogs.
I really believe that this headset is going to be amazing for lots of reasons, right? The haptics and the triggers are going to blow me away for sure. It's going to be super immersive. But I also really think there are going to be downsides, right, from those lenses. Yeah. I really don't like the lenses. I
You
hope
said
no,
this in the beginning, though,
a
Seb.
better one.
You said we both said that in the beginning, even before all the hype and all the first impressions.
You're right, exactly. Yeah.
You know, that is absolute deal breaker. And you think one thing I worry about, I don't worry about it. I'm not going to buy it. You know what I mean? One thing that I'm concerned about for people who are going to buy it is the longevity of it. You know, how this software that's in it and everything, the eye tracking and the Fresnel-based lenses, even the form factor, in a couple of years' time, that's going to look really old, like 1980s style technology, because the industry is moving really fast. And PlayStation, we're not going to see another PlayStation for 7 years or whatever the cycle is. It's a long cycle. So that hardware is going to have to stay current for a lot longer than most VR headset manufacturers, even like the Pimax sort of stuff. So I think it's going to look old very quickly, I personally feel.
But perhaps they're going to have a revision. They had a revision with the original PSVR after a few years where they improved some of the cables, where the cable were and stuff. Who knows? Probably they find out, hey, the lenses are not up to snuff. Let's put something else in for revision 2. I still think we will be blown away, right? You Tetiana, you have seen it. I mean, you've seen the OLED displays. You've seen Horizon, right? The colors and like make us happy now.
Whatever you think there are going to be these imperfections, none of those imperfections are going to be deal breaker in any capacity for any one of you enthusiasts. It's still going to look amazing, and when you look for imperfections, you will see them. When you're playing to just enjoy the game, you will absolutely just enjoy this experience. It will not be bothering you. So I've mentioned the mirror effect, the little like the fuzzy things on the screen that when you move your head, they're still there.
For OLED displays, yes, that's the problem. Yeah, okay.
Those of you who tried PSVR 1 know what I'm talking about, and it's much less intense on PSVR 2, but it's kind of there. I think that's how you can actually tell that you're wearing a PlayStation headset, because that's like the only one I've noticed it at. And I've mentioned that, yes, sometimes the sharpness was not ideal, but I was just testing Crystal before that. So it's really, a very high bar. And of course, it's not reaching that, but it's the games that you're getting in for, right? And the hardware is more than enough to support those games.
Yeah, that's the big deal.
And the
Absolutely.
features.
Yeah, that's why I'm still so excited about it. Even though probably I have looked through a higher definition headset in better lenses, like I did that, right? But I think for most people, for the huge majority, this will be like mind blowing, right? Who come from nothing. For people, it's going to be their first VR experience. They are going to be completely shocked how amazing it is. Also for PlayStation VR 1 users, for Quest 2 users, right?
Exactly, yes. My brother has a PlayStation VR 1 and he plays it. And he's like, yeah. I'm like, I cannot even play it. Sometimes I can't even. Sometimes, some of the games are just like too straining for me compared to some other headsets I tried. So for someone like that to go into PSVR 2 is just going to be a new world, like a literal new VR universe. And there was something else I was going to say, but yeah, essentially this for the people who are they're grabbing onto those comments that say that it's not sharp, it's something's blurry, oh no, I'm going to cancel my pre-order or something. This is in no way a reason to back down on that.
I think the light's gone.
My light probably also going to go soon. Yeah.
So in no way those things are the reasons to not get this headset. I mean, we are reviewers, we got to be honest. Yeah, if it's not the best, it's not. If there's something that's better, it is. But also it's not like the super hardcore PC VR gamers headset. Like obviously Steve has seen much better graphics with his 4090, but I think that it's also not what they're targeting. They're targeting mainstream, and they're trying to get as many people into VR as they can.
The real question really is, how does it compare against PSVR 1 or any other standalone VR, which doesn't exist? So if you think about the progression from what it's supposed to be, we shouldn't really be comparing it to the Pimax Crystal or anything like that. I think that would be a bit bizarre because you're spending so much more money. It should be better, you know, on a computer that's going to power it. But if we think about, it's £1,000, same price as a Valve Index, is it? I don't know.
I literally made a
around
separate video just talking about price because I got so
if
sick
you
and
think
tired
about
of
the
people saying that
price,
it's too expensive. Come on.
No, it's not. It's absolutely not too expensive.
not for the experience. Not for the experience you're going to
Also,
get. Not
think about just the controllers, right? With this force feedback in the triggers, like the current controllers don't have it, and they still sell for $300, like the Valve Index controller or the new Meta controllers. They all cost $300, and they don't even have this feedback. So just the controllers alone are worth a lot of money. It's like fantastic technology, right? And then Rumble, and then OLED. Just the lenses, and unfortunately the lenses are like a huge part of optics in VR, right? For example, the Vive Pro 2, it has an amazing display, but
that's got the smallest sweet spot in the world.
But the sweet spot
so
is really bad,
really
and it has so much God rays that I cannot completely enjoy the Vive Pro 2, right? And I'm just hoping that this is not going to be so bad with the sweet spot and the God rays, because unfortunately the German people who have reviewed it, they have all said until now that the sweet spot is small. That the sweet spot is small, actually.
I remember when the G2
Weird.
came out, everyone was like, the sweet spot in the GT is terrible. But then the Vive Pro 2 came out, and like,
and then they really saw what is a small sweet spot.
Like the G2 was like pancake lenses in comparison to it. But no, yeah, absolutely.
I wish. Well, I don't quite understand this decision for those lenses. I think
especially because it's got eye tracking as well, so you're going to be moving your eyes around more. If it's going to really use that favorited rendering, you're not going to be moving your eyes much because you're going to have to move your head a lot more, like, you know, because of the Fresnel-based lens design, like of the past. So
I know it's probably nitpicking to pick on those lenses when everything else is so great. But I'm just wondering, like, why did they make this decision? Especially because the PSVR 1 had aspheric lenses, and people loved it, right? There were no God rays. There were no God rays whatsoever in the PSVR 1. And suddenly, if somebody is used to PSVR 1 all their lives, and then they go to PSVR 2, suddenly there's a small sweet spot, and God rays probably. Anyways. We don't know. We don't know yet. I'm still super sure it's going to be amazing because, just as you said, that it's the games. Also, the PSVR 1, it didn't have the best specs, right? Like the resolution was really low, but still, it was fantastic because there were amazing games on it, and it was just fun to play those games. So, I'm still sure that the PSVR 2 is going to be like a very big success, and that I'm going to most probably love it. But I still want to tell the people out there, especially us enthusiasts who have looked through other headsets, probably manage your expectations for the picture quality. That's what I got from the first headset video.
It's always a good idea to lower expectations, kind of keep it cool, you know, just go into it knowing that it's not perfect.
Exactly.
And then depending on how low you succeeded in lowering it, then you may be like really impressed. But yeah, I mean, I can tell you right now, it's not the best ever quality you'll ever see in VR. But it's incredible for what you're paying for what you're upgrading from PlayStation VR 1, from Quest, you know.
And so many more games now, so many new games that will be made for it, and that is truly what's keeping me so excited.
Completely optimized and, you know, made from the ground up for VR. That's exciting. Not just well, presume they are. They're not going to be like a port. It's going to be specifically designed to work on it as a native VR platform, like Gran Turismo. I presume it's going to be. Is that or is that not going to be the case?
What
was the question?
What is not?
I don't even know.
Sorry, I was just reading something in chat. I'm so sorry.
I was just thinking out loud. I was thinking basically, like, a lot of the games coming out, are they going to be ports or they're going to be
lots
specifically
of ports
made for VR? You know, with VR at the center of it. You know, or is it going to feel like this is a bit of a tack on? You know, and it doesn't feel really That's what I'd
Yeah,
like to know.
there are quite a few games which are Quest 2 ports, which are then the enhanced edition of something.
Yeah.
Obviously, we all want more AAA games, and Sony has so many IPs that they could use. I'm just looking at Killzone VR, Uncharted VR. They would all be
Oh,
like
that would be amazing.
blockbusters. Last of Us VR.
Just Seb, can you just not like it too much though? Because I really don't want to buy
Okay.
one. So
I know.
that.
I will. Well, I will simply give you my honest reaction to it, and it can be amazed or it can be not amazed. Like you'll see.
I'm always excited like to play games in VR. I don't often post those things on my channel because it's a slightly different direction, but I will be playing the heck out of these games, not just for
Same here.
the games, but for checking, because that's the headset that actually brings these new updates to the games that you can actually notice. With the haptic feedback, with the eye tracking, with so all kinds of these features that are unique for PlayStation VR2. So that's what I'm going to be doing. And actually considering just doing my full gameplay of Horizon when I receive it. I'm just going to play the whole game because I'm so excited about it.
Same here. I will totally play the shit out of the PlayStation VR2. Really, absolutely.
That week, I'm just going to take a break from flight simming. I'm just going to
really just watch
instead.
Just watch our reaction
anyway. No one's going to
try out
that.
all that stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, good. Cool. Okay, so I love the talk today, even though there were not such hot topics to discuss, but it was still amazing to catch up with you and the community. So I absolutely hope that everyone enjoyed season 2, episode 12 of the Next Dimension podcast out there. If you did, give it a thumbs up right now. You 236 people who are watching it right now. And also, please do leave a comment because that will tell the algorithm, yes, I do like 2 hours of the Next Dimension podcast, and please show it to other people as well. So do that now. That would be amazing. And the very best thing that you could do, get out your iPhone or iPad now, open the podcast app, which is pre-installed there, find us and give us a 5-star review. That would be the most amazing thing that you could do in order to say thanks for giving this show to us. And that is everything that we got for today's show. We're looking forward to see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I love this bit because we're still here, even though we said bye.
Yeah, we're still here. We're still here. Yeah, it was so good. Guys.
It's so great to have you back, Steve.
Thank you. No, it's great to be back. I know I've kind of rambled a bit, but no, it's been really enjoyable.
It was great. Yeah, really you have to come more often and don't do these gigs. Give all the gigs to me instead.
Yeah, absolutely. No, on one day when I see you, Seb, and we've got a gig or something, I'll get you on stage. It'd be brilliant.
I don't know. Yeah, exactly.
Throw the guitar at the end.
I would just pretend. and I would just, or if you once you reach the part where somebody has to destroy the guitar.
Oh yeah, you could come up and do that bit.
just get me on. Just let me do that.
Yeah,
that's really good.
Totally. Yeah, that's a deal.
Okay, good.
Live stream on both of your channels.
Wow. Wow. That would be great. I love the show. Truly love the show, and looking forward to the next one and have you on more often, hopefully, and to lots of PSVR. It's going to be so exciting once we have really checked it out, like for longer. I know, Tetiana, you have already checked it out, but once you have it at home and once I have it at home.
I am looking forward to it because I did feel a bit rushed there, right? At CES, you only had 20 or 30 minutes, your time frame. And of course, I tried to pay attention to everything, like every second I was in VR. But obviously, I'm going to be way more relaxed and focused on it when I receive it. So, definitely coming.
Super looking forward to it. All right, everyone. That was the show. Don't forget the likes and the comments. Do that really now. That would be amazing. And we're looking forward to see you in the next one. Until then, bye-bye.